Being heard and being understood are not the same thing. And if you've ever walked away from a conversation feeling like your partner listened to every word you said and still completely missed the point, then you already know what I'm talking about. Today, I want to talk about what is actually happening in that gap and why closing it starts somewhere you may not expect. And I'll walk you through a little exercise at the end to help you in this space. Here's the thing. You're not asking to be agreed with. You're not asking for them to fix anything. You just want to feel like this person sitting across from you actually gets it, but somehow they keep missing it. And there's a difference between being heard and not being understood. Being heard means that someone has listened to your words. Being understood means that they got what was underneath those words. They understood the feeling, the need, the thing that you were actually trying to say. And most people in this situation are just simply getting heard. Your partner's listening, but they're not being understood. And that distinction matters because it means the problem is not that your partner is not paying attention, it's something important is getting lost in the translation. And you know what? This can be really disorientating because from the outside, the relationship looks really functional. There's no obvious problem that you can point to. You can't say that they never listen because technically they do. But what you're feeling is harder to articulate than that. And this is part of the reason why it stays stuck for so long. Maybe the reason your partner keeps missing what you're trying to communicate is not because they don't care. It's because they're interpreting what you're saying through their own internal lens, right? Their own history, their own understanding of what needs look like, and their own way of experiencing connection as well. They hear your words and they process them through the lens of what those words would mean if they said them, which is often completely different to what you actually meant. So let me give you an example of what I mean in that space. Let's say she says something like, why don't you ever pay attention when I'm talking to you? Because, he's not looking at her when she's talking. But he hears criticism and he gets defensive. But what she actually needed in that moment was acknowledgement that he understood what meeting that need looked like. And subconsciously in her mind, she confirmed that through eye contact. He was not withholding it. He didn't know it was being asked for. And he was paying attention in a way he knew that the need would be met for him. Can you see how the gap's not malicious? It's invisible. And the problem with invisible gaps is that they don't close by accident. And most of the time, your partner is not ignoring your needs. In most cases, they really cannot see how to meet them because they've never been shown what your specific need actually looks like. And here's the part most people skip. Before the communication problem between you and your partner can change or resolve, something has to happen inside you first. You have to be able to name specifically, not vaguely, what you actually needed in that moment. And that doesn't sound like I need to feel supported. Because what does support look like for you specifically? Is it someone just sitting with you in silence? Is it someone asking you questions? Is it someone doing something for you or being there? Is it someone acknowledging out loud that what you're going through is difficult? These are all different things. And if you can't tell the difference yourself, how can anyone else meet that need? I find that most people can't describe what truly being understood is like for them. They just know when it's missing. And you can't ask for something that you've never learned how to name. And I think we all forget sometimes that self-discovery is not separate from relationship work. It's the foundation of it. Getting clear on your own needs is not navel gazing. It's the prerequisite for being really known by another person and by yourself. Sharing your life with another person is just so much better when you show up knowing who you are and what you need. So, as I promised at the start, I have a little exercise here to help you with this. Now, let me be clear, I'm not giving you something to take into a conversation with your partner today. This is just for you. It's for you to get clear and honest about what is actually happening within you in these moments. So have a little think. I want you to think about a specific recent moment where you felt unheard or like your partner just didn't get it. And not a general thing, not a general theme like, they don't know how to communicate, I don't feel supported, they don't do enough stuff around the house, but a real specific conversation, a specific situation, something that's happened recently, and have a think about that and get that in, hold that in your mind, because that's what we're going to work through. Now, if you need to, you can pause the video here and pause in between the questions if you need a bit more time. Okay, so take your time. It's not a race. All right, when you're ready, let's start. So question one, thinking about that situation, I want you to ask yourself, in that moment, what did you actually need? Not in general, but specifically in that moment. Did you need them to sit quietly with you? Did you need them to ask a question? Did you need them to acknowledge out loud, what you were going through? Did you need them to confirm that they understood? Yeah, what did you actually need? What was the specific thing that would have made you feel that that need was met? You can pause here and then we'll go to question two. Question two, did you know the details of how that need looked like when it was met before the conversation started? Or did you only recognize the need once it went unmet? And guys, this is a pivot point because most people realize that they walked into the conversation without knowing what they needed from it. They just knew that something felt off, after they walked away. So have a think about that one. Pause the video if you need to, and then let's go to question three. Question three, did your partner know? Not in hindsight, in that moment. Had you ever actually shown them in detail what that specific thing looks and feels like for you? Yeah, that's a hard one, right? Most of us are waiting to be seen before we reveal what seeing us actually requires. So I invite you to notice that the gap is usually not about love being absent. It's about something else. It's usually about something specific that has never been made visible, often because the person talking or asking to be understood had not yet understood it themselves. And feeling unheard or unseen by your partner is can be painful, can be really painful in a specific way because this is the person who you chose, who chose you, the person who is supposed to know you. But that feeling is also a signal. It's not a verdict on the relationship. It's nothing to shame yourself or feel guilty about. It's just pointing to something that's not yet been made visible. And that work always starts with you. And one honest question is a real place to begin in this space. So, guys, if this resonated and the communication piece is something that you want to explore, there's a free guide in the description. It's called The Train Driver and the Bee. Yes, I know it's an odd title, but it will all make sense when you download it. And it looks like it talks about basically why we can often miss each other in relationships and why it's not anyone's fault. We just talk at different perspectives, different lenses. And also let me know in the comments if this is something that you've experienced, and let me know if you know how to name what you actually need. As always, don't forget to subscribe and whack on those notifications, and I will see you lovely humans next week. Bye.